Yeah, I'm Micah. I wrote a book and self-published it, and it did pretty well on Amazon. Bam, I'll put it right there. I also publish a anthology every year, a horror anthology with a bunch of awesome authors, and it does really well, and it's all for charity. And now I help other people publish books, new authors getting into the self-publishing sphere. I help them do that, and every Friday I get to kick it with my girl and talk about all the awesome things. I like long walks on the beach, and I am 25 years old. Okay. Your turn. Go. We've only got 2 minutes for an intro.
Okay, Chelsea here. I write books. I like to write dark epic fantasy. I show up on a couple of the anthologies Micah has done. Hopefully this year again. Let's just be honest. I have written The Blood of the Lion, The Mark of the Dam, The Dance of Destiny. Now, The Scars of the Wicked is coming out here. I am just hoping that it all works out. So that being said, I've done a few short stories. I have written a dark kids book that is, I'm not sure if it's kids friendly, let's be honest.
Oh, it's great. It's very kids friendly.
Yeah.
Very kids
and I am a coffee addict and will find any way to drink my coffee. And I like music. Goodbye.
Bye. So I don't know much about you, right?
Oh, right.
We just met not too long ago. So what have you written? What are you working on, or what have you done?
Okay, so I'm writing Solum. I'm not writing Solum. I'm relaunching Solum. I launched Solum 2 years ago. It didn't give me the feels that I wanted. I didn't feel good about it because I had to switch a whole bunch of editors, and then my first editor told me that it was too boring. So then I rewrote the whole book in 2 weeks, and and then I gave it back to her. She's like, "Well, I can't edit this because it's a totally different book." I'm like, "What?"
That's crazy.
So then I had to do it all by myself, and I released it, and then I'm like, it's not what I wanted. So then during my pregnancy, I rewrote it, gave it to Chelsea, and then I wrote the second. So the second one I'm doing line edits for now, and then I'm doing the third one at the same time, and then doing this audiobook thing. So I'm like, why do I
you're
need
busy.
to work?
No kidding.
Like, oh my god.
So what is Solum about?
So yes, the worst
I don't know.
question.
I don't know what it's about.
The worst question. You know what I mean? Like, what's your
Don't worry about it.
Solum is a modern epic romantasy. Like, it's a thick book. There's 6 POVs.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. They talk to me a lot.
Yeah.
And it's modern, so it's set in 2020. How old is he? He's 23. So it's set in 2023. It's like, I'm going to go dungeon hunting, but also I want to go to Starbucks and bring that with me. That's kind of the vibe.
Well, that sounds fun. I like that.
It is incredible. It is laugh out loud funny in some spots. It is
that's awesome.
Gut wrenching in other spots.
Can I tell you that when I saw the cover does not look laugh out loud funny. The cover looks like dungeon torture.
Well,
there's some dark vibes in there.
It looked like something like Cradle of Filth would have on their album cover or something.
Well, I mean, the cover is symbolic. There's a reason why it looks that way. There's shadow demons involved, and there's a dragon or something. Spoilers, there's a dragon involved, but it's not, but it is. You play D&D, right? Does anyone
Yes.
Okay, so technically the family that we're following is a bunch of paladins. They worship these 3 gods, and their powers come from these gods, and they're law enforcement. They're magic law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bred to be law enforcement to the magic peoples, and kind of keep them at bay at the same time as making sure that their lives are secret, because nobody really wants the higher government doesn't want anyone to know that orcs live and fairies run cafes. They don't want that.
But this is modern time, right? So just
yeah. So they just kind of live around you, but you just don't realize it.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole legend that's happening at the same time. Bennett shows up, and he's kind of this kid who doesn't know that he has magic. He thinks he has very high anxiety, so he takes medication to dumb down his magic powers, but the medication's not working well anymore, so he continuously explodes until he meets this family, and they're there's something wrong with you. You need to move in because we can't just let you run around. You're
Right,
kind of
right.
dangerous. So they end up like adopting him and then training him to be this paladin sort of dude, and he kind of grows into himself, like grows into what he was supposed to be in the first place. It's kind of fun. I like him a lot.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And there's
So-
definitely dark vibes in that book. The entire world. I mean, when you're working with the demons and the legend that is unraveling and the consequences of that. I mean, there's a lot of things at play here. It is a very complex, layered plot book, and it's done very well. So you have the humor, but you have very, very real world situations that you're dealing with where it's like, you know, if ish hits the fan, we are all screwed.
Yeah.
So is this your first book?
Yes.
So you bit off quite a challenge for your first book.
Well, okay. It happened, right? I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. And then I sat there and I'm in my apartment with my husband. And I was like, what did I do before I had money and a car? Oh, I wrote stuff. I wrote fanfics.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I'm going to write a fanfic about Never Have I Ever. And then I did that. And then I'm like, oh, this is boring because like real life sucks. So then I'm like, okay, well, what if I did Never Have I Ever crossover with Buffy? So then I did that. And then Solum showed up, and that's what Solum became.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what are your influences?
Like Buffy,
Yeah.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch,
The old
Supernatural.
one or the new one?
Both.
The new one was so crazy, like from the original. Oh my gosh.
I liked the first season. Second season was like, okay, what the Fs? And then the third season, I'm like, really?
Dude, it just kept getting crazier.
The first season was great.
First season was great. I mean, I thought the whole series was good, but
yeah.
Dude, talk about dark. That got dark.
No, okay, but like, I liked it because they're witches. Like, that made sense.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So
yeah, because I mean, obviously the original one, of course, and it was made for families on TGIF or whatever.
CW garbage.
Yeah, you couldn't get that kind of dark. It was like it was more like Bewitched or something like that. But yeah, with the new one, man, ooh.
Like all the humor, all the characters have this sass that comes from Buffy, that comes from Firefly, that comes from like the Joss Whedon sort of stuff.
Exactly, like the Dawson's Creek kind of dialogue. Yeah,
that's where it comes from. Because originally Bennett falls off of like the railing in a football field. He because the girl is the soldier, so she jumps off and she's like, I'm gonna be badass and fight all these demons, and he like kind of like. He's following her, but he like trips over the railing as he's jumping and like falls face flat. And he's laying there in the grass, and she's like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "It." And she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "It's fine. It's like a mosquito bite." And she's just like, "Okay."
That's awesome.
While the demons are,
That's awesome.
Unleashing. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So that reminds me of I don't know if either of you have seen it. What's the Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum? The Lost City?
I think so.
Is that what it's called? Yeah. So Brad Pitt has a cameo and it's hilarious, but he's like this super BA, like total G.I. Joe hero. And Channing Tatum wants to be the hero. So Brad Pitt is going to rescue Sandra Bullock, and Channing Tatum kind of like follows along, just kind of like Brad Pitt's like, please stay back there. You're going to get us all killed. And he like just kind of sneaks behind him. So everything that Brad Pitt does, like he'll like flip through trees, or he'll like run up a tree and then drop down on a guy, or do this crazy martial arts move. Channing Tatum tries, and everything he does, he like totally messes up and fails and like falls and hurts himself and all this stuff. It's a hilarious scene. It's really, that kind of reminds me of that.
I have not seen that movie, but
I've watched it 3 times. I like it so much.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just like a rom-com. It's just a rom-com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, and like all of my influence comes from like 2010s raunchy college movie.
Yeah. Oh, Van Wilder and the American Pies and all that.
American Pie. The waiter.
The waiter. Oh, yeah, the waiter or waitress. One of those.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing.
All of the Adam Sandlers.
Oh yeah,
love it.
Like all of my humor comes from there. So.
That's great. I love it. You'll fit right in because that's my bread and butter.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this theft of.
Oh my God.
of book.
We are jumping right in.
Intellectual property theft that that Meta has done through, what is it, LibGen?
LibGen. Yeah, you got it.
Is it LibGen? Yeah. So apparently LibGen is this Russian site that's been around forever, and they've stolen ebooks and put them on their site for free. So pirated the ebooks, put them on their site for free.
Lovely.
And I'll let someone who's more studied or more read up on this take it over when I kind of introduce it. But what happened in like 2020, actually it happened before this, but when it came to light was 2023, when a couple comedians, a couple authors sued. But Meta decided to, and all the way up to Mark Zuckerberg, there's proof that Mark Zuckerberg approved this, decided to basically scrape LibGen's database and take all those books and feed all those books into the AI learning model to teach their AI. So, and their justification for this was, well, it's public domain.
Wow.
And the only reason it's public domain is because it was stolen and pirated. So the original work is not public domain. The pirated version that was stolen is public domain. Isn't that crazy? That's their justification? That blew my mind when I read that.
Yes.
And so long story short, back in 2023, a couple authors and Sarah Silverman, the comedian, got a lawsuit together, sued, and said, "Hey, this is our intellectual property. You can't. It's copyright. You can't take that." Then they said, "No, it's fair use because it's public domain." No, it's stolen stuff. And so then a judge got in front of it, and I guess when it went to court, Meta had redacted like basically all this information. And they had said that they're redacting all this information to protect their business assets, which is legal. You can do. And so when the judge looked at it, he's like, no, none of this is business assets. This is evidence that you basically committed a huge crime. So he ordered all of that to be unredacted. So now it's all coming to light.
Oh my God.
And I thought that'd be a fun thing to talk about today. I will say, before we get into it, Chelsea, 2 of your books were scraped and used to teach AI. I looked that up. I found those this morning.
I'm just disappointed the third wasn't used.
Right. Third wasn't used. And I am super bummed that mine wasn't used.
So sorry.
Now I did look up, because there's another website you can look up and see if your book has been pirated. So see if your book has been stolen. Yes, mine has been stolen and pirated. So at least I made it.
Rightful honor.
Yeah. Great. I'm very honored for that. Love it. And I did go into ChatGPT and I said, write a paragraph in the style of Micah Campbell, author of Urban Legends Ghost Stories Folk, and it wrote a paragraph exactly like I would talk.
That's messed up.
Yeah, so it does have it in ChatGPT. So I'm stoked that I'm there. I'm kind of bummed that that I didn't get pirated by LibGen though.
So I want to my family was like, y'all need to sit down. So I got really heated this morning because I was just like, it's all coming to light, and my biggest piece of advice is do your research, because this has been going on for years. And so LibGen they had a court ordered date in 2014 to basically stop practicing because of all the pirating works that they were doing, removing those paywalls, unethical.
I think they started in 2008 is what I read.
Yep.
And then they got that order to stop in 2014. Yep. Yeah.
And then they were like, that's really cute. We're just going to hop domains and keep doing it. Yeah. And then the US government was like, oh, here's a $30 million fee in right before 2020, a year before then. But we don't actually know who we're targeting because who's running LibGen is a mystery.
Right.
And so all that to say, you have AI. There's AI databases that have been trained, right? We have ChatGPT. All the copyright material has been used in the entire world, non-copyright and copyright. OpenAI made a public statement last year that said, we have scraped the entire internet. We have used every single piece of data ever created for our model. And now, you think, okay, ethically, that's copyright material, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm offended. ChatGPT, you can have people write like you, right? You asked it. Write like Micah Campbell, and it writes like Micah Campbell. That we have allowed through. Every AI model has done that. And Meta is doing the exact same thing. The only difference is that it's public information that they're drawing from a piracy site. And so, but I dare say the other AI models were probably done the same way. And that
absolutely.
exactly.
Well, I mean, look at it this way: if everything across the entire internet has been scraped, and I don't know if we can say everything everywhere, but yeah, the large percentage of things have been scraped, and all this data has been collected, then surely pirated sites have been collected, illegal sites have been collected. I mean, all this stuff has obviously been collected.
Right.
So why is it that Meta is to? And don't get me wrong, I hate Meta. I hate Meta. I hate Zuckerberg.
Same.
I hate them. But why are they getting villainized for this?
Well,
and what were you saying, Gabby?
Sorry. I'm just like, they have to blame somebody. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just pick and choose which one. Pick the biggest one, take them. It's like prison rules. You take the biggest one down, and then everybody else has to come down, right?
Right.
Like, that would be the only way, or the only reason why I could see like Meta being the one.
Yeah. And also I think that we don't, at least I don't, maybe you do, maybe Chelsea, because she some of her family is into AI, so maybe I don't know who's behind OpenAI. I don't know who's behind Jasper, so maybe a lot of other people don't either, so maybe they're not as easy to villainize. And to Gabby's point, everybody knows Zuckerberg, everybody knows Meta. So
right. And I want to say too, the public information that a piracy site as large as LibGen was used to source that data, I think that's also getting major publicity, because LibGen has been around since 2008. We talked about that. 2014, it was asked to stop doing what it did. It switched domains, and then it was hit with a $30 million fine right before 2020. I think 2018 maybe. And they literally did nothing about it because nobody knows who is running LibGen. And
I think it's so funny that you can find the error. Like that's literally what they did, because this is a ghost site. Nobody knows.
Well, I bet someone knows, but because of the information, like, we as other people, like normal people, aren't supposed to know.
Okay, I have a conspiracy theory. I have a conspiracy theory. Don't look at me like that, McKenna.
It was her face. It was her face that killed me.
Don't look at me like that.
Just about spit water through my nose.
I will spit water.
Wait,
that is disgusting.
What? You can't say that. That's a BookTok thing.
I can say that. Oh, it's a BookTok thing?
It's a BookTok thing.
Is
it's
it?
like mouth. Yes.
Oh,
it
gross.
is.
Is it?
It's a thing.
Nasty.
Oh, that's gross.
This is why I read these books, because I think they're so funny. Like, they're disgustingly funny to me.
Yeah.
And some people are like, "Ooh, this is so hot." I'm like, is okay in, not outside.
Right. Well, not, and especially not outside into somebody.
Yeah, don't Google. Okay.
Yeah, that's gross. Okay, so I take that back, Chelsea.
Yeah,
I'm not
don't
gonna
post that. Just for your safety.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah.
So my conspiracy theory is that maybe, I don't know. Nope, let's not even get into it. Get into it. Usually, you can ask Chelsea. Usually, my theories are correct, but
somebody knows. But as us, as normal people, probably shouldn't. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, I don't know if you follow like the P. Diddy stuff. It's like that. Like, everybody knows.
No, you're right.
Right? Everybody knows. Nickelodeon, everybody knows, but we can't like say it out loud. Yeah. Because of the complications and blah, 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 whatever. And now that it's all coming out, you're like, well, burn the oligarchy or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's an incredible point. I think you're 100% right with that. I think you're absolutely right with that.
Whoa.
Yeah. Everybody, the higher echelon knows, wherever that would be in whatever sphere that would be. They know, but you don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. And now once it's out, okay, we need a scapegoat. Who gets burnt? And right
and
now,
you have to consider too. I'm gonna jump off. I don't know if you guys know about the BlackRock stuff.
Ish.
So that's what kind of reminds me of. It's just it's a no, don't talk, don't look.
Yeah.
Only the top dogs know about what's really going on.
Right.
You know, and that's so when we're talking about this, it's literally all I can think about, where I'm like, you can't even say their name without somebody going, oh, what?
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I think about when I hear that. And it's really interesting, and I'm very curious to see what happens to it. I think the LibGen and the Meta debacle has gotten a lot of publicity too, because technically LibGen being a piracy site, being a major piracy site at that, you are stealing creators' work. So, and you're removing that paywall. Technically that's not, and I don't know all the legalities and the loopholes and stuff like that, but I don't think that's entirely legal to be pulling all that work, removing the paywall, removing the fact that that person was the sole proprietor, sole owner of that product, and then providing it for services. I think they call it seeding, maybe.
Oh, I hadn't heard
Yes.
that. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like not legal at all. And
No,
Meta,
it is piracy.
Yeah.
It is piracy. Yeah.
right. And so
Yeah.
that's why Meta's getting in trouble, because they have actively made it public knowledge now
Right.
that they're doing that.
Even though everyone has, all the way back when OpenAI or who, even before that, even Google, whoever, it's always been done.
It's always been done.
But now that it's being known that it's from a piracy site, so even the fact that Meta was using all these individual IPs, that doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that they got some of their information from piracy site.
Well, and so the article I sent was very interesting because I think that was released like 15 hours ago, because now that they're unsealing a lot of information, kind of coming off of what you said, where all this information is now starting to become public knowledge, is that a Meta employee stepped forward and said how uncomfortable it was for them to be using their Meta laptop to be pulling books from this piracy site and actively seeding. They're like,
That's
that
crazy.
wasn't right. They're like, that made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's like, Meta. And then they got grumpy because they were like, they're trying to seal all that information because of the negative publicity. I'm like, bro, everybody hates Zuckerberg to begin with.
Exactly.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's all really fascinating. And it's such a blurry topic to talk about, because I know a lot of authors get really upset about the discussion of AI. And I understand why. I totally get it. But I also think that the more knowledge we provide, the more aware we can get, and the better our decisions can be, and the better our statements have more knowledge, more evidence, more research backing behind them.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really enjoy AI. Okay, like, I get it, people need it, and that's just the way it is. Like, I was talking to my husband about this. He's like, well, we weren't allowed to have calculators before, and then they had the T1 or whatever came out, and then schools had to relearn how to teach math alongside the T1. So this exactly the same thing, just a different form. We just have to relearn how to learn with the AI that's coming out. Unfortunately, it'll take a long time, but it's just that's the way that our life is going to go, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. It's just there's no fighting this, right? It's going to happen, just like there was no fighting, when the internet came out. Some people were like, this is the end of the world. This is there's, well, you're right. But again, let's not get into it. Let's not get into it. But you're not going to fight it. You have to learn to adapt, and you have to learn it, and that kind of thing. It's the same with any technology, dude. Any technology is the same way. This is just the next technology. Do I think this technology is dangerous? 100%. Like, I absolutely do. But
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay, because I'm doing this audiobook for my friend, right? And I'm thinking, I would love to do this forever, but if I keep doing it, someone's going to steal my voice.
Yeah, and you're right.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Then what would be the point?
Right. So let's get into this part. Let's get into a funner aspect, or a funner angle of this. The reason this came up this morning is I saw a author post that their book had been part of this LibGen scrape from Meta, and it was a very woe is me, I've been victimized. And it felt like jumping on the bandwagon. It felt like jumping on the bandwagon so that I can get some sympathy or some empathy or some attention as well. I laughed, and the first thing I did is went and looked for mine to see if mine was on LibGen, because I was like, I freaking hope mine got stolen. That'd be awesome, because I think it's hilarious. And so And the funny thing is, y'all are laughing, but the funny thing is, I sent it to Chelsea and I sent a screenshot saying, "Found 2 yearbooks, none of mine. I'm kind of pissed about it." And she was like, she sent a GIF saying the highest honor, and she was like, she was so happy about it, right? Because it's like, so really, here's the question I present to you: is do we care?
I think it depends, right? In my household, we don't watch TV. We don't have cable. We're that house.
That's great.
But we watch a lot of YouTube. My husband watches a lot of YouTube. He watches a lot of Twitch. There's this one Twitch guy. Yeah, Twitch. His name is Shalat. And he has like a very, what's it called? Stereotypical New York accent. It's fake. But now it's real because he's been talking like that for years.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's really funny. He got AI'd. People were making songs with his voice because there's so much sample of him that they actually made him sing like Gundam style. They made him sing like
That's
a whole
awesome.
bunch of rock songs, and he got ticked off. He's
Yeah,
like,
sure,
guys,
yeah.
that's rude. That's like me. You don't steal that stuff. And then it got to the point where he took voice lessons and made a Christmas album, like a crooner Christmas album. I got it for Christmas. My husband got it for me. And I'm like, Jesus, he's so good. Like the whole
my
point
gosh.
was like, yeah, I could sing Fly Me to the Moon, but I really did sing my way. So which one is better? And literally, obviously, it was him.
Sure.
Like, you need
right.
to watch this video. It's really funny. I'll send you the link at some point.
Yeah.
But like, it's just amazing how he went from screw you guys and then out of spite made a whole album because of AI.
Good for
Right.
him.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great. I don't.
Yeah.
Because it can't be fought. It can't be helped. Even if it could be, it's not going to be. There's too much money involved. Chelsea going back to the BlackRock thing, Gabby going back to the higher echelon thing. There's too much. There's too much money to be had. There's too much money, involved. There's just too much. It's a machine. It's not going to be stopped. It is not. So if I see that my book or the new book, The Singing Blade, that's coming out that Chelsea knows, and anybody that's listened to us for any time knows that I've worked on for 20 plus years. If that gets put out and it gets stolen and scraped and used for AI, why do I care? It's still not my book. It's just using it for what's it using it for? Tell me how that is going to affect me at all.
Well, and that's so interesting you bring that up, is that I know somebody, and I won't say their name here, but they reached out to their cousin who is a lawyer, and they said about this whole situation, and they said, well, what's going on here? What can I do? And this is messed up, blah, 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 because they have multitude of books on LibGen.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer came back and said, how is this hurting you?
Right.
And I was like, ouch. I mean, quite the comeback to say, but legally, what action can you take if the AI model is being trained on the data, but not being told to replicate the data, or to, in terms of copyright and creative rights, it's not taking your product and reproducing it identically. It's not. Because legally that's not allowed.
Right. And it's not allowed. But what it does is it takes Gabby's work and your work and my work and 4 billion other people's works, puts it together, learns how to say something, even though it's never going to be as good as a human, learns how to say something. And then you said, how is it hurting? Now, piracy, so if we take the AI scraping, take the AI models, the learning out of the equation and just go into piracy, yes, I hate piracy. I think it's wrong. It's thievery. Yeah. It's thievery. For somebody on our level, it doesn't matter. But for somebody on, somebody who's a New York Times bestseller, or for Hollywood, people that have dumped in millions and millions into movies, and then somebody gets that and pirates it and sells it for $10 on a CD on the street or whatever. No, that's wrong. It's it's thievery. It's wrong, and it does hurt people.
Yes.
So piracy, there's a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
But the AI use, the AI learning aspect of taking all this, I don't see it, people. Chelsea and I alone have been harping on it for like 2 years, but I just don't see the problem.
Yeah, I think the only time it's a problem is, again, like my example is taking someone's identity and being to create something that you can market.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree with that. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
And that, to me, that's totally different than throwing some work into a blender with a bunch of other works and then pouring it out and seeing what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's how AI is working right now. But then taking somebody's likeness and making a hologram of them, or using their voice, or Hollywood's tripping now that they're going to be able to start using actors' faces for There's going to be start making AI movies,
Yeah.
but with the actors, but not with the actors.
Yep.
What was it? Yeah, you can sell your likeness to Disney or Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah. So that, I think, is just, well, A, super weird. B, absolutely that can damage somebody, and that can hurt somebody, and that can really hurt a livelihood. And yeah.
Well, think about it. Chris Evans was Captain America for 10 years. Replace him now.
Can't do it.
Like, Iron Man has been Robert Downey Jr. for 10 years. Replace him, right? If you sign my likeness, if let's say, like, okay, I'm Robert Downey Jr., I'm like 85, you sign my likeness, I'm still getting those royalties. My family will still get royalties from Disney because you need Iron Man, and I will always be Iron Man.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow, another example.
Yeah. Right?
Absolutely.
I totally agree. So you're right. Like, I think it's just a lot of it is, and look, a lot of it is that victim mentality, and I just don't.
I think the other thing is, and we talk so much, so I don't even know if I said this, but one thing that I've always come to the conclusion of is nearly every book out there is pirated. Every single book.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much you protect it. I can sit here and tell you right now, every single book I have published has gone through the Copyright Office. I have a seal of approval, authentic piece of paper that says, this is my work. And guess what? It does absolutely nothing.
No.
It's just a little blanket legal piece of paper that says, look, I can say it's mine.
Right.
On the pirated side.
Right.
Right.
You're not going to find them. You're not going to, it's just like the LibGen. You're not going to find these sites. You're not going to actually ever be able to pursue legal action. Oh. It's just going to happen.
You remember LimeWire? That's how old I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It is.
Like, I was 12 years old. Yeah. Like, I was 12 years old downloading, like, Soulja Boy, and then from the radio, you can hear the radio 92.47 now.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Right? Like, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. Is it right? Is it good? No. But what can you do about it? It's just some people get really butthurt about really small things. So.
Yeah. Do your research. And AI is effed up to begin with. It's because there is no laws out there that are protecting the creators of all this data, regardless if it's a book, music, movie. You can go on.
Right.
Academic research papers are on LibGen.
Right. Oh,
you know, it's like people who've spent a decade getting their doctorate and residency and writing these freaking research articles. Their work is now being pirated, and you're like, oh, that's messed up. You know,
which again, think about how hard it would be to protect this information, because I go back to what I just said earlier, which I'd never used this metaphor, this analogy before, but it kind of makes sense. I take your books and I put them in a blender. I take your books, I put them in my books. I take these research papers, I put them all in a blender. I hit blend. How are you going to pick out, oh, that's Chelsea's? Oh, that's Gabby's. You're not. Once it's in there and once it's been learnt, it's part of the big system.
I think the issue that people have with AI is that it's that fear of being replaced.
Absolutely.
I can see that. Yeah.
Right?
100%. Yeah.
Again, like, if you wanted an AI script to be made, you could.
Yeah.
So why would you need a community set of writers to write your season, to write your movie, to write anything? Right. Why would you need anyone to write your music? Why would you want a musician? You could just AI vomit a song out, right? Like that. I think that's what people are afraid of. Whereas I think we forget that people write, people sing, people do music and movies is because that's what we are.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't think that people realize that the AI is going to replace the art portion of humanity. I think it's going to be more replacing the statistics, the economy stuff, the CEO high-level accounting stuff, because those are hard numbers. Those
Right.
are real. Those are 1+1 is 2, right? Not green, not yellow, not like I want the sky to be purple kind of thing. You know
Right.
does that even make sense?
No,
It
you
makes
make total sense because, and we've talked about this before. One thing AI cannot do and will never, ever, ever be able to do is duplicate human emotion. It can't do that. So, and that is what art is. You know, that whether it's song, whether it's drawing, painting, you know, whether it's lyrical or whether it's a movie, a script, whether it's a book, AI cannot and will not ever be able to mimic or become human emotion.
Mhm.
I've not seen yet, and I've been playing around with AI a lot. I have not seen yet a single sentence that AI can put out that is actual human emotion.
Well, it sounds convincing, you know,
Right.
where it's
Yeah.
like
Well, that's
you could send a business email. I've seen that.
100%. Of course
But
you
Yes.
can. Yeah.
those are dry, stale, here's your
Right.
facts. But if you asked it to write a heart-wrenching scene about someone losing their loved ones, aka Name of the Wind,
Oh my
then
gosh.
it would not. It would never come close to it.
No, not in a million years.
Yeah, and that's what story is.
It doesn't
Gabby,
have that capacity.
yeah. Gabby, you said exactly what I was getting ready to jump into, which is yes, there is a massive trend for AI right now, and everybody's sitting there and going, I have to try it. Let's feed the data. Let's make these models. Oh my gosh, so cool. But I think this trend is going to stabilize and start to dip. And because at the end of the day, you cannot replace humanity. You cannot replace exactly what we love to do, which is create. And the people, the readers, viewers, watchers, listeners, you cannot have those people feel like they're having their art taken away. You cannot replace that.
Right.
It's like people want the human connection of art. AI can't replace that. And so that's where I think, even though there's a big fear of, can they replace me? The screen art, it's all of that. Yeah, maybe 2% are going to sit there and go, I'm going to have AI write the script for me. Good luck with that. In 10 years, you will have the most laughable movie on the planet because everybody's going to know what happened. But the other 60, 70, 80% of people, consumers, they crave and need that human connection. And that's what art is. So that's where I think we're going to go.
Yeah. Also, before Gabby, before you jump in, if you wanted to, I just had to point out that this is the third week in a row, listeners, that we have proven that we cannot math, because Chelsea just said 2% and the other 50, 60, 70, 80%. So
Nobody
yeah,
maths here, okay?
right. We do not math here.
we're writers, not
Right.
mathematicians.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's okay. That's why I married my husband. He's the math.
There you go. Exactly. Right.
That's what
Yeah,
you
no,
do.
no math here. So, you also just brought something up that I did want to touch on. Gabby, have you read Patrick Rothfuss's Kingkiller Chronicles, The Name of the Wind, and
No, I
Life
have
and Sphere?
I have an issue.
Okay.
I can't sit down and read things. I have a 1-year-old now.
Yes. Yes.
So everything is audiobooks. And now I can't even do that because I'm doing one.
So, okay. So first of all, download the audiobooks. They will
Okay.
change your life. They will change your
Perfect.
life. I've been telling this to Chelsea for months now, and she hadn't done it yet, but she did it the other day. And Chelsea, being 14 chapters into the audiobook,
16. I have
16
finished
chapters
16.
in to the
Yep.
audiobook.
Okay.
What do you think so far? Was I at all overblowing
No.
the incredibleness of this story?
I've told Micah, and I will publicly state this for the world to hear, but I have really struggled reading any sort of epic or high fantasy as of recent. Probably years, actually, to be honest with you. And I've always said I blamed it on the fact that I write epic and high fantasy. And so it's very difficult for me to pick up an epic and high fantasy book. That being said, I was raised on it, is all I read, all that. But I've really struggled getting back into that genre as a reader and consumer, despite absolutely adoring the genre and writing it. And so Micah sat there and was just like, you need to just give this a chance. Like, put the audiobook in. I've done a lot of true crime, some sci-fi, stuff like that. But then he was like, well, Patrick Rothfuss is on there. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, fine, I'll give it a listen, you know? And I can honestly say I have rediscovered my absolute love for epic and high fantasy. I mean, we're talking the true classic stuff where it's just like there's something so magical about the narrative style. And that's what I fell in love with as a young reader who was devouring these books and falling in love with the genre, and as an early budding writer as well. It's just, yeah, it's been. I was telling Micah this morning I was freaking out because chapter 16 was just unhinged. And you have been telling me, you're like,
I told you.
Just you wait.
Right.
And I was like, oh God, how better can it get? I'm
Right.
like, this is just extraordinary.
Right.
And chapter 16, I'm sitting here. It is 7:45 a.m. in the morning. We're getting ready to record. I'm doing my task. And just this crap goes down. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But it was just heart-wrenching and beautiful and just riveting. And I was just sitting there and I just like stopped working because I was like, this is way too intense. Like I was like, I just kind of zoned out the window and got full body chills. I was like, oh my God.
And what you told me yesterday is, you know, you said, this is what, you know, and you kind of touched on it. You said, this is what I've been missing. This is why I have been reading epic fantasy. I was like, I know it takes you back to a time when you were opening a book and reading it and you were lost in it and you were in
transported.
Wonder. Yeah. That's what this book series does. It is like, and I kid you not, like my 3 biggest influences ever in my literary journey that's one of them. Like it's just that good. But you know, you think you're there, but Chelsea, you're only on about a level 3 on the like emotional scale. It goes up to like a level million. Like
you have not even ready.
You have no clue. And that is a devastating and beautiful and haunting and horrible and wonderful scene. But it has you're not even
I've been thinking about it like literally for hours now.
Yeah.
I'm just like tormented.
No, you're not even close. So this is Patrick Rothfuss. Rothfuss. And it's the Name of the Wind. Chelsea's got a picture of it there. Yeah, The Name of the Wind. And the second one is Wise Man's Fear.
Yeah.
They are, if you have credits, I know the audiobooks can be a little expensive, so if you need to wait for credits, but
I don't have Audible.
Oh, you don't have Audible? Okay.
No, I borrow everything from the library.
Libby? Yeah, Libby's great. Libby's wonderful.
I love Libby.
Libby, yeah.
But no, that will they seriously will. They will change your life. Like I told her, get 4 hours in and tell me you can turn it off. Get 4 hours in and tell me you can turn it off.
Okay.
I was disappointed when I had to stop at chapter 17.
Yeah. You just don't stop. Once you start, it's just like it's impossible to stop.
I'm doing mundane tasks, and I was like, I physically cannot focus on these mundane tasks because I was like, this scene was so intense. I was like, what?
Yeah,
it was heart-wrenching. Oh my gosh, that's what epic fantasy is.
Yeah, it's so good, dude. It's so good.
That's
so
beautiful.
Speaking about epic fantasy, I can't tell you how many times I have created a post with my cover on it and have wanted to post it. I promised Chelsea I wouldn't do it until hers is back and we can do it together.
I'm excited for you guys.
But it's disgusting because like I want to share it so badly.
I get that.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I just look at it every day. Like, and it just breaks my heart that I can't show it, and it makes me so happy, but then it makes me so sad.
Bigger question, have you ordered a proof copy?
I've not yet.
Come on.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. I think it's such a good idea. But like I kind of when first time I crack it open, I kind of want everything to be there. Yeah.
I get it. Okay,
yeah, I kind of want everything to be there. That way, that way you can look at the chapter breaks and I can look at the chapter headings and just the whole thing,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
That it is such a, and Gabby, I bet you can attest to this, but it's like that moment you hold your debut in your hand, nothing comes close to it.
I still have my first copy.
Oh, never get rid of that. Never.
I don't know if I have my first copy of Urban Legends. I don't know if I still do or not.
That's hateful.
I know, it really is, isn't it?
I don't know, like because of the relaunch that I'm doing. Like, do I change anything? Do I do a different cover? What do I do with it?
What do you want to do?
I don't know. That's the thing.
What did you release it on Amazon previously?
This is a very long story.
Hey, that's what we're here for. That's we.
I didn't have writer friends when Solum finished.
Sure.
I had one that I met as I was launching. So then that didn't really, he was helpful, but like not like what I needed. So then I ended up doing those, what's it called? Those that like I did Frisian Press, which was like the half indie publisher, half traditional publisher, and
like a vanity press.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because no one tells you, and Google doesn't tell you.
Right.
So then I was like, I guess I'll just do this and kind of figure it out. There, I threw money at it. And they were really nice. They made my cover for me. They formatted for me, but I felt like, what was the point?
Right.
Because I still had to do my own marketing. I still had to do all of the editing myself. I still had to do like everything else that I'm doing now for free. I thought they would be doing. Do you know what I mean? Because I paid you.
Right.
No, it's like a Porsche. I have to pay for the windows. I have to pay for the engine.
Exactly.
I have to pay for the steering. So I'm like, hey, this was a mistake, but I let it run for a year. Because I'm like, I threw money at it. I might as well like let it go. So then I cut it off. I ended it. When did I end it? December?
You just ended it.
I ended December and I was like, forget it. We're just going to redo the whole thing and do it the way that I should have done it the first time. Except I didn't know what the first time.
Right. You had no clue. Right.
Yeah. So like, I'll probably just do Amazon, but I don't know what or how I'm going to do that yet.
We're here for you.
We'll
just know.
Yeah, we can get you.
Yeah,
like we can.
I'll like figure
anything
it out.
you need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
Chelsea and I've done it so many times at this point. It's like we can have you going in like 2 hours.
Yeah, and I'm really fast at like learning things. Like I learned how to do this audiobook editing in like 2 days.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. That is seriously impressive.
Oh, thanks. And then like I don't get. And Sam really wanted a cameo in it, so she recorded a whole bunch of lines, and I'm like, oh, they're kind of weird. And she's like, I know, because she has echo or whatever. So then I played around with another 2 days. I'm like, I got it. We're good. Now all you have to do is approve and then continue to record. She's like, I don't like them. I'm like, no!
That's funny.
No!
That's awesome.
Hilarious.
That's awesome.
So. No, you should. It's exciting though. Like I know, like doing the relaunch, and I know you're going to release the second book. Are you planning on releasing the second book, like right when you do the first book, or what were you thinking?
I was going to give like the baby its chance.
Okay, I like that.
And then also, I would like to work so that I can give you money, so you can do the second one. So I'm kind of waiting for a paycheck.
Wait! You're getting paid? Like I do everything for free. How are you getting money out of this, Chelsea? What kind of game are you running? I basically just give away charity here at this point.
Oh my god!
How'd you work that out?
Oh.
Okay.
I couldn't help that.
Cut that out.
Okay, I will say I did find it gross at first when you were telling me, but actually, Chelsea, when you said that, like, I'm not gonna lie. So.
Stop it! I literally just ugly clapped.
Just a little one. Just a little one. Like.
Well, you're being generous.
I want to know.
You know, I started out at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm neither. Are you familiar with Tic Tacs? That's about.
So if I shake it, it makes that sound.
No.
Oh,
Gabby, one Tic Tac.
Singular.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
The orange, the mint, which one?
I prefer the mint. You know, just it makes sense. You know, but
oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I get that.
A lot of that's getting cut.
Oh god. Oh my god, that was too good.
That's pretty funny.
That was top notch in my
opinion.
That's
funny.
Oh god.
Please don't cancel me.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Like a disco.
So good, dude. So good. Man, while Gabby was talking about Amazon, I wanted to bring something else up. Oh, okay. So I saw another post that kind of got me going, and Gabby, I would like to hear, because I think I know Chelsea's opinions on this. So I would like to hear your opinion. The this supposed right, it is so weak.
Oh.
It's so weak.
The boycott?
The boycott, yeah.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Boycott, yeah.
English is my first language.
Good. Yeah. Ours too, but you never know. And we were taught math in school too, but you never know. But so this boycott. people are actually thinking it's making a difference. And so I was like, you know what? This is so stupid. Because again, it's this victim mentality. It's this mob mentality. It's this, let's get super passionate about something we really don't know about. And so I went and looked it up. And since the boycott, Amazon's capital or whatever finances have been up 7%.
Yeah, because it's publicity.
Yeah, it cracks me up, dude.
It's not a boycott. If you're going to boycott something, as a Canadian, we just boycotted you, period. We have.
Us? Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that we're just like, now we're just gonna buy a Canadian brand, like it's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like to boycott a large company like Amazon that provides so much convenience for everything,
Right.
good luck.
Right.
You, as singular person, not gonna do much. You
No.
know who you're hurting? The indie authors who are on there, the people who make a living off of Amazon, that's who you're hurting. You're not hurting the big bad.
Right.
Like, they have deep pockets and they'll just throw money at you if they want to. They can, right?
Yep.
Like, dumb.
No, I feel the exact same way. It's cracking me up watching this. Can someone help me though?
What?
Is this boycott still around the KU DRM, or is there something else going on? Is it still that?
I think it's still that.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my
KU
gosh.
specifically?
Yeah, the DRM,
KU.
like the no longer being able to like download or share or anything like that.
My goodness. And
Tell
literally...
us if we're wrong. Anybody who's watching or listening, tell us if there's something else going on. And I'll look it up afterwards. And if there is something else on, I'll post the link on there. But if that's all it is, I mean, we talked about that last week or the week before. That is just silly.
Well, and I mean, I'm piggybacking off literally what we were just saying. Oh, my little cutie.
Yeah, there she goes.
But literally the exclusivity done for KU was to help with pirating.
Right.
So who is winning?
Right.
If you boycott the KU, that was literally done to help protect authors for against pirating, and also increase the competition between distributors, because you and I have talked a little bit about that, about the increasing competition between mega distributors like Ingram and KDP.
Yeah.
But it does help protect them from the pirating sites from being allowed to download, because of those 1% of a-holes that think they have the right to steal your work and upload it to somewhere else.
Yeah. What are you actually boycotting? Are you actually what you're doing is you're actually boycotting the protection of indie authors. That's what you're boycotting, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
But but even if you didn't know all of that stuff, like what is the point?
Right.
Literally, what is the point?
Right.
I don't know.
It doesn't. It's just like the AI thing that you can't fight it. Like you said, you can't fight this giant machine. You can't fight it. And again, it goes back to what I said. They're not educating themselves. They're not doing research. They're just saying, "Oh, yeah, that's bad. I'll boycott it." You're as dumb as
This episode is unhinged.
It kind of is.
Seriously, I like binged watched you. You're kind of like unhinged.
We're kind of there all the time. Yeah, we're kind of.
Oh, I didn't tell you this.
What?
I told Chelsea that I put you on the TV, and I was with my son, and he's like talking to you on the TV. He thinks you're in the room, and I'm like, oh, that's cute.
That's great. I love that. I love it.
It was
so good.
Precious.
Yeah,
and
I
he'll
love that.
Point. He'll like go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then any white man with a beard is Dada. So.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Micah.
I mean, we haven't got the maternity test back yet, but
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh my god, dude, that is glorious.
What's so funny is Decky looks just like my bud Mike. Like it's so funny. He looks just like him. Like nobody in my family has blonde hair, and Decky has blonde hair, and like he's like real fair. Mike, dude, it's so funny. So Mike, every time he's over, first thing he says to my wife, "How's our son doing?"
That's cute. It's cute.
It's really funny.
My husband is like, "Oh, look, now we have a heifer running around. My little mocha latte." I'm like, stop.
My mocha latte.
No, that's great. I love it.
That is adorable, dude.
So good.
And then I'll hold him. I'm like, you know what? He looks like you, except Asian.
Oh my god.
You can't come over here. Okay, just letting you know, if you come over, I'm not the funny one.
Well, your husband's funnier than you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Don't tell him that I said that.
No, that's good. Well, unless he sees this. Unless you want me to cut it out, I can just believe it. Speaking of Fourth Wing,
Dude,
which the
what?
only reason that reminded me of that is because like the first edition of that had the sprayed edges, right?
Yeah.
I got my air gun in, my airbrush in.
Ooh.
Yep.
Fancy.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm hopefully maybe this weekend going to I don't know, maybe attempt to spray the Blood of the Lion's edges, and we'll see what it looks like.
You better send me freaking pictures.
Oh yeah, I figured I'd videotape it just like to catch all my mistakes and all my
Make a reel.
yeah.
Yes.
I'll do a reel of it. Yeah. So Blood of the Lion, get it. And I think what I was thinking about doing was because with the airbrushes you can like fade in and out and make it real cool. I was thinking about doing like the top half down to the middle like red, and the bottom half up to the middle like black, and having them come together. I thought that'd be pretty rad.
That would be rad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see how
That's
that
exciting.
looks.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm really excited to do it.
Speaking of, Micah, you never sent me the link to that.
Oh, I didn't. Right, because I'm gatekeeping.
Gatekeeper.
So,
F the
yeah.
gatekeeper, so saith the one.
Right. So once I do this and make a ton of money off of it and don't need it anymore, then I'll send you the link.
I'm supposed to get my hardcover copy, my dust jacket today.
Ooh.
My proof copy.
That's exciting.
That is
Oh my
super
God.
fun.
This sounds really bad, but like the paperbacks, I'm kind of like cute, awesome, tossed to the side. But when I get the hardback, I go, okay, I'm official.
Yeah.
She heard everybody just like
Right.
So
Exactly.
you know.
Who doesn't? I do. So you're getting
Laura, where are you?
You're getting that one from Ingram though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
But I downloaded the final PDF and EPUB right before this call because it's basically official. Everything's done. All the tweaks have been made.
Awesome.
So then I'm hopefully going to order author copies like early, like a professional.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
so
Yeah, dude.
fancy.
Not waiting until after publication day to do it.
How many you gonna order?
Hardcover I usually do 10 just
Yeah.
because I do to a handful of readers and
Yeah.
then I just have a few on standby.
Yeah.
So, because the paperbacks are so much more.
So much
Easier.
more affordable. It's
Yeah.
like $4, something like that. Yeah.
Literally my paperback is $6. The Ingram is $15 to 16
Whoa.
to print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, and that's something, that's something I don't think a lot of people understand either is when hardcovers are so expensive. It's like, dude, they're expensive to print.
They are. Well, like, look at it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look at it like that.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it's
prefer
not cheap.
Same. And here's an example. This is like, I know people get crazy about pricing, but this is an example is that my hardcovers are priced as low as they possibly can in Ingram. So for example, I think book 3 is $35 on Amazon, the dust jacket version. I make 32 cents if one is sold. That is the lowest I could possibly go before it told me there was an error and I couldn't go any lower.
Yeah.
And so
just
the
hardcover.
paper, exactly. And so, but the paperbacks, I print if I distribute through Amazon. It's so much easier to print. It's so much more affordable. They take way less. And I only say that because Ingram takes way more on print paperbacks. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But probably distribution because they're wide,
Right.
right? But the paperbacks, it's like $6-7, but not 7 with shipping, but $6. And then by the time I price it out, I think I see like $1.50.
Yeah.
Woo, So yeah, it's just like that is a huge thing I wish more people understood is that you're not pricing them intentionally higher. It's literally that is as low as you possibly can go to cover the cost of print, to cover the royalty cuts, and then to still make a tiny bit of dimes for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it is pennies and dimes. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah. So, especially when ebook that's the major marketer right
Right.
now. It's like you sell a paperback, you're like, ooh, who got physical?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I really like an audiobook, I will just buy a hard copy.
Yes, I do that too. Yeah.
I've never read any of my hard copies.
That's
They're
funny.
sitting in my bookshelf, like really pretty, and I'll just like, ooh, and
That's funny.
put it back.
They're collections. That's the I have Name of the Wind back here. I've had it forever and I've always wanted to read it. And then he was like, well, it's on audiobook. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just easier. It's more portable.
Yeah.
For everyday life?
It is much easier, and it's a lot easier to get more in. Like back in the day, I could read 5 or 6 novels a month.
Yeah.
I can't get through one in a year now. It's
Same.
crazy.
Yeah.
Same.
There's just too much life happening.
Right.
Right.
And as writers, where are we putting our creative energy? When we have a second, we're sitting down and working on our content, whatever that might be. Is it marketing? Is it setting things up for publishing? Is it the cover? Is it the blurb? Is it the book itself? It's like, so it's a very difficult line to walk because you want to read because that's why you appreciate stories, and literally every writer on the planet has libraries of books. But you just don't have the creative energy to put into reading like you used to because it's going into your passion project.
Yeah.
So mad respect to any writer out there who reads religiously. Like I know, and if you take a break from your writing and you can binge read, that's the way to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've told you, Mike. I think I've told you. I was like, I'm going to take a week off when book 4 is released and I'm just going to freaking off the socials and I'm just going to freaking read.
Yeah.
And I am so looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
I'm just going to put everything aside. Nothing is, there's no emergency. Like,
got it.
Just freaking read a book.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to internalize all of that so that I can send you 7,000 desperate and you come back, it's going to be like a novel of like a month.
Oh my
send it to her right before she starts her break.
No, she's awful.
Yeah.
She's so bad.
I'm so bad, dude.
And I'm like, I know she's not leaving me on red, but like, do I send this meme or do I like actually ask her a question?
Oh, you know what? That's weird because like usually Chelsea responds to me within seconds.
Clearly, you're the favorite. Wow.
That was a joke.
Wow.
Friends off, I guess.
Right.
I'm gonna remember that.
I'm just saying.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I'm not putting your review on the back of my book anymore.
Hey, look.
It's not like me and Chelsea are in the same time zone.
Right.
I know, dude. That was nuts.
That was hilarious.
You're like,
that was really funny.
We're literally in the same time zone. I was like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. We share the mountain range.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was thinking. I did not go to school, guys. I don't know where I was thinking, where I was like, she's way up there, so she obviously must be in a different time zone.
Yeah.
No, we share. I'm literally 3 hours from the Rockies. Like, it's the same time zone.
But it was just like weird because I thought, okay, you're in Canada, so obviously you must be in a different time zone. No, I got it all backwards.
Continent.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Do I look like I passed school?
Don't try to explain it.
Don't math me.
I didn't math nothing.
It sounds like math.
Where did you think she was? You thought she was Pacific time, didn't you?
Yeah. No,
yeah.
she's not Central.
No, I thought it was Eastern.
Yeah, I'm Central.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny. Anyways, let's go ahead and kill it. We got an hour and 20 minutes worth of stuff. So
okay.
What?
Who's saying the goodbye?
Gabby is.
Do you want me to say it? I can say that fancy for you.
Do all the things. Yeah. Say
guys.
Say thanks for watching my show. You know, like do whatever you want. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming. This has been so fun with my friends. I guess we're friends. We're friends now.
It's not as easy as you think, is it?
We're friends now.
Yeah.
So just hit that like button, hit that bell button, subscribe. Have fun.
Yeah, pretty good. Oh, and then you have to end it with bye.
Oh, bye.
We decided to keep recording because we were having so much fun. And all right, gosh. So you want to hear my story?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one I debated on whether telling or not. I might have to edit some stuff. I don't know. I don't think I will. But okay. So back in the day, so we're talking early high school, maybe 15 years old. Okay. We had a friend in the neighborhood. We'll call him for to keep his name private. He was Serbian, and his family had just come over. I'd known him for a few years, so we became very close. His family had come over from Serbia, and they were they were keeping with their Serbian roots, their Serbian everything like that. Anyways, so one day, Bob and I, after becoming really good friends, I was just hanging over at the house. We always did. Nobody's home. His sister is home, but he said, "Man, I got a problem." I said, "What, bro?" He said, I I need to get circumcised. I said,
Oh.
Suck.
I said, why you gotta get circumcised, dude? And I had seen it, you know. We have creeks, we have
No,
like
no,
creeks
dudes share.
yeah, dudes share, bro.
They do.
And yeah, no, we'd been like we have creeks in the backyard and you know all this stuff and like peeing outside, whatever.
Yeah,
You know,
in the buildings,
whatever,
yeah.
dude. I seen it. Ain't no or anything, but I seen it. So I said, oh, here's the thing though, they yeah, because the with yeah, and so the you know whatever sweat, bacteria, anything, whatever, that's all in there, and so it stinks. And so he's like it stinks, dude, and nobody's used to it. And I always you know in the locker rooms and stuff like that, and you know, and he's like I need to get circumcised. I said, bro, that's gonna hurt, dude, because I'm thinking back, like I'm thinking in the Bible when it talks about all those dudes getting circumcised, and then they weren't able to defend themselves, and the whole nation got killed because they all got circumcised. Anyways, so I'm thinking like, dude, you're gonna be down for a minute. You're gonna be like down and out. He's like, no, but I got to. I was like, all right, well, whatever, bro. Good luck. He's like, no, I need to do it today.
What?
I said, wait a minute, what? I said, what are you talking about? He said, you gotta help me. I said, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? So long story short, he wants to circumcise himself right there in his kitchen. So I'm like,
what is this, a bris?
Right. I was like, what do you even mean? And so his family had some moonshine, some made in the backyard stuff that they did in Serbia. They still do it. And so he's got this, and this stuff is like 100 proof. It's like just straight up alcohol. And he's like, I'm gonna take the. He grabbed a steak knife. So with the steak, his thought process was it's serrated, so it would make a cleaner cut. Like again, we're 15, right? We're 15. So he grabs his steak knife. He's like, go make sure isn't gonna come out. And so I go back to the room and I say, I was like 2 or 3 years older than us, so she was like a senior in high school. So I you know, don't come out. And of course, she just told me to F off and threw a book at the door and like shut the door, right? So I shut the door. I was like, I don't think she's coming out. So I go back in there. He's got the steak knife. He's got the alcohol. He says, okay, put that on the knife and then light it on fire. So I put it on the knife, light it on fire to disinfect it. He rubs it all down there, and he's like, okay, grab some towels, and as soon as it's gonna bleed, so as soon as it bleeds, catch it and help me wrap it up. I was like, this is crazy, man. This is a true story. I'm sitting in his kitchen, 15 years old. He's holding a knife, and his is out, and he's ready to go. So so sure enough, I'm like, all right, let's go. He peels it back, and like just like an old school, like ear to ear cutting somebody's throat. He just goes and immediately starts screaming and drops to the floor. And I kid you not, the entire kitchen floor just immediately starts pooling with blood. So I'm like freaking out. The worst injury I've ever seen is like one of us falling off our bikes, our BMX bikes, trying to do a trick, falling and getting scraped up. So I am flipping out. So I run. First thing I do, of course, is grab, because she's older. I run and grab her. She comes out. She's like, "What the heck is going on?" And so he's like rocking back and forth, holding his stuff, and like it's just like blood everywhere. She's like, "We got to go to the hospital." He's like, "No, we can't go to the hospital. Mom and Dad are going to kill me." She's like, "Mom and Dad are going to kill you anyways. This is crazy." So we pick him up and we help him down to the car to get him to the hospital. And they had white carpet, and so blood drip, 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 all the way across the living room, on the landing, all the way down the stairs. Blood, just blood trail. She ended up taking him to the hospital. He ended up worse off than he was because they weren't able to separate it because he had damage to the nerve. So they had to like redo it, but then it got redone like Frankenstein style. So like it was like real messed up and bulgy and weird.
Did it stink,
eventually he got it fixed. But
just to wash your
the washer,
just wash it. Like you just
right, exactly. He's just like, but again, 15, being in a new country, he felt out of place, out of touch, and neither of us had any idea it was going to hurt so bad.
How?
I mean, Well, we were talking about this earlier because we were 15. Didn't we talk about this earlier?
That's true. Okay, that's fair. It's fair.
There's no
But, like,
logic. There's no logic. It was just like,
boys, they're so dumb.
yeah, so dumb. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. It still to this day is one of the wildest memories I have.
Dude,
Like-
your stories get crazier and crazier, Micah.
Okay, like,
Well, that's what I was like.
cut my shit out. This one's better.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was like,
Damn,
yeah,
son.
that's why I was holding that one back because I was like, dude, it's so good, but should I tell it? But I'm glad I did because yeah, it's one of those crazy stories.
That is the most insane story I've ever heard.
Yeah,
Bro, remember the time I cut off my
right,
bro?
right.
Bro,
It was,
remember?
and then
Man,
of
you were
course
solid.
his parents, his dad, old school Serbian,
Dude.
beat the crap out of him. Literally beat the crap out of him. Yeah,
I would've.
crazy. So another funny story was they were very Serbian, right? And they had this thing where like, and I suppose maybe it's with any immigrant community that would come over, but they didn't want a lot of their Serbian stuff shared, right, with Americans, right?
Okay.
So whatever. They did invite me to one of their big their big to-dos, like with all the Serbians in the area. And that was pretty devastating to me because they had a giant hog and they killed it like in front of me, in front of everyone. Like, 'cause that's just what they do. But
Yeah.
like the way they did it, dude, it was the most horrifying thing I'd ever seen. And then they like hung it up and bled it and all this stuff. And I had never witnessed anything like that before. But they had me do one of their to-dos, and like so they kind of integrated me into the family a little bit. But one thing that his dad told him never to do was to teach me Serbian. That was like one of the things he told me never to do.
Wow.
He just didn't want me to learn Serbian. So of course, Bobbin taught me one phrase, which was
Of course.
like that was the phrase he taught
that's
me.
our favorite
Right.
thing
Which
to
is,
learn.
and I don't know if I have to edit it in this, but it's Jebi se kurvo is how you say it in Serbian. Jebi se kurvo.
Nice.
And so Bob is like, don't ever tell anybody. You can't tell Dad. Blah blah blah. No problem, dude. I got you, bro. We're homies, right? The day I saw his dad,
You did it.
Hey, Mr. Jebi se kurvo.
Oh my gosh.
You're such
Dude,
a bro.
he raged. He like grabbed Bobbin by the neck and just like threw him in the house. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I didn't see him for like 2 weeks.
It's really funny because like I come from an immigrant Filipino family. Like my family moved here in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Separately. My parents met here.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And from what I grew up in a Filipino-ish community. But like we really enjoy sharing everything. Our food,
so
our
totally
events.
different.
We like to teach you the swear words.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like that all of like you're hungry? Come over. My 12 other cousins are also gonna be in the kitchen doing whatever it is that they do. Like it's just always been like whoever's around, you're invited. Just come.
Yeah.
So that's very different.
Yeah. It was weird, and I don't know if they came from war torn, which I don't know what's happening in the Philippines at that time either. I don't know, but very war torn. Anyways, there was a lot of strife and a lot of war there. Yeah. So maybe they just wanted to preserve, and that was their thought process. Was they wanted to preserve that heritage.
Yeah, like the Japanese.
Yeah, so whatever. But they ended up, like I said, they ended up sharing a lot with me. But
that's nice.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were great people. It was a real wake up call. So young. Seeing such a different ideology in culture.
It's fascinating when you get exposed to that other kind of culture because
so
you
young,
start to realize how big the world is. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's really weird because like I was the reverse, right? Like I grew up like this, but I went to a North American school. Mm-hmm. So then when I went there, I'm like, what do I do? Yeah. What are the rules? Because my rules are different.
Yeah.
Because my parents were still very traditional, tried to raise me very traditional. But also my father didn't want me to learn any Tagalog. I don't know anything. Like I don't speak it.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. Because I guess because he moved here when he was 15, 16 years old and almost could not speak English well. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I don't want my kids to not be able to speak English fluently so that they get bullied or they can't find a job or whatever it was. So I don't know how to speak any of it. I can do like broken words, and like I know when someone's talking about me or someone's talking to me, I can kind of like I can figure it out. But no, there is absolutely almost nothing.
Huh. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating.
Yeah, it is. Yep, I love it.
Very unique.
Okay, Gabby, do you want to take us out again?
Okay, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button, ring that bell, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.